It's Late Night with Stu. On the weekend, on the TV and the internet, but mostly on the internet at night. Late.
Welcome to Late Night. It's season 2. It's a brand new year. That's right, it's 2014, and you know what that means. Lindsey Graham is up for re-election. And this year, it's my personal New Year's resolution to eradicate all traces of him from office. Tonight, we are joined by a man who can help make this resolution come to fruition. Please welcome South Carolina State Senator Lee Bright. Yeah. Welcome, Senator. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Please tell me you are going to defeat Lindsey Graham.
Well, the things on the ground in South Carolina are going great. We've got a lot of support from all around the state. Fundraising is an area where there's opportunity, but we believe that as time gets closer, we'll have more money in to get our message out, which is a message of liberty and freedom.
That's what everyone says. They say Lindsey Graham is unbeatable in South Carolina because he's got too much cash, too much power, and he's going to squash you and any of your any of the other people running against him. How do you respond to that?
Well, people still get to vote. Folks in South Carolina are fed up with Lindsey Graham. They're tired of his policy. They want somebody that's going to stand on the wall and fight against Barack Obama, not stand with Barack Obama.
I mean, how often do we have to see this? How often do we have to see a tough moment where our country is struggling against the forces of bigger government, and there's Lindsey Graham standing there shoulder to shoulder with Name the Democrat fighting for the opposite position?
Well, South Carolina can definitely do better. I mean, we had, in Jim DeMint, we had a man that was standing for liberty, and South Carolina has shown it can elect the true conservative. We've just got to do it again. Just to throw this out there, I am considering a constitutional amendment to remove South Carolina from the union if they vote Lindsey Graham back in. Is this a measure you would support? Well, I believe that we're going to vote Lindsey Graham out this time. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. I'm confident that we've got the power that it's going to take to beat Lindsey Graham. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing the work.
Explain to America the way this primary system works, because it's not like you're going to have to go in there and necessarily defeat Lindsey Graham one-on-one. This is sort of a different system than it is in some other states.
Yeah, this is a runoff state. If no one gets 50% plus one on the first ballot, there'll be a runoff, and then we feel confident we can win the runoff. Yeah,
because the two top vote getters go, and then you have the runoff. So it's a situation kind of like, Ted Cruz had a similar situation here in Texas where he was able to get into a runoff, and then once you're in the runoff, the chances become a lot better that you're going to be able to beat somebody like Lindsey Graham, who has let's be honest, he's got a big structure, he's well known, he's got a lot of people who want the status quo to continue that are going to funnel money to him. You know that. You know you've got an uphill battle here.
Well, there's absolutely no way at this point in the race I would trade places with Lindsey Graham. I believe we've got the campaign to win this election. We've got the issues. He's got to spend $7 million trying to recuperate a message that just doesn't play well in South Carolina.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. We have detected a substantial breach which is distorting our connection to our guest. Our experts estimate a 95% chance this attack has been perpetrated by the campaign of Lindsey Graham to shut his opponent up. Of course, there is a 5% chance that our connection just sucks. We apologize for the inconvenience and for Senator Graham's douchiness. We will continue the interview with the aid of subtitles. In case you can't read, all you need to know is that Lee Bright is better than Lindsey Graham. In fact, anyone or anything is better than Lindsey Graham. Come on, South Carolina, you're better than this. Or are you? We now return you to the regularly scheduled interview.
All right, let me read this to you. This is from a Fox News opinion article. And Fox News, they seem to like Lindsey Graham a little bit more than I do, that's for sure. They write, like any incumbent with a successful track record, Graham has plenty of money, up to $9 million, blah, blah, blah. An overlooked aspect of Jim DeMint's departure from the Senate to run the Heritage Foundation is that DeMint, while in the Senate, intervened to support Republican primary insurgents, won't loom over this race. He's maintained it through years of, talking about Graham, through the years in South Carolina by outworking everyone and engaging voters. That's why you can bet that in 2014, Palmetto State conservatives used to voting for their own will re-elect their indispensable U.S. Senator. I'm going to go out on a limb and not call him indispensable, but you can see that even people on perhaps the right here are looking at this and saying, look, South Carolina likes Lindsey Graham for whatever reason, and they're going to put him back in office.
Well, we're giving a real alternative to someone with an experienced voting record, an experienced campaigner to go against Lindsey Graham. I think it's a whole new ball game when it comes to that. He's never had a tough race. I mean, he walked into this, and we're going to walk him right back out.
All right, let me give you this quote. A reporter asked him, "Are you alarmed by what you're seeing happening in Egypt?" Lindsey Graham says, "Oh, my God, I didn't know it was this bad." I mean, we're talking about a guy whose strength is supposed to be foreign affairs, who doesn't seem to understand Egypt or the Middle East at all. How would you differ from him in handling foreign affairs?
Well, he and McCain have been nothing but community organizers for the Muslim Brotherhood. He has gone over there and tried to help those groups grow into power, and he wanted to put boots on the ground in Syria. And that's it. You know, a lot of folks in South Carolina did think that Graham was strong on foreign policy. We don't know where his strength is unless it's helping Barack Obama.
All right, so we focused a lot on how bad Lindsey Graham is, and we could honestly spend the next 14 shows outlining it. But instead, let's talk about you as a candidate. Give me some of the things you strongly believe in. What drives you? What are your principles?
Well, I have sponsored the constitutional carry bill in South Carolina because I think it's obscene that here we have a Second Amendment that says shall not be infringed, but yet even in South Carolina we have to go to the state government to ask for a permit to assert a right. So I'm strong on the Second Amendment. I'm strong on religious liberty. I'm strong on state sovereignty. You know, I spent 5 years in the legislature. I'm against government control. There was a vote on the cigarette tax compromise in the South Carolina legislature. That vote passed 169 to 1. And you're talking with the one person that voted against.
Well, I like it. I like when we find somebody who has the balls to be the one guy who's going to vote a particular way. So, Lee Bright, let me ask you this. I ask every candidate that comes on a couple of questions. Number one, do you support term limits?
I was actually I'm a co-sponsor of the term limits bill in the South Carolina Senate. I'm a co-sponsor on the federal level. It would be great if it would pass. Problem is the folks that are against it are the ones getting the seniority and taking control over our federal government.
Yeah, I mean, I got to have term limits. I must have them. And final question. And I know you talked you've come on the show, the radio show with us before. Glenn asked the same question to everyone. You know, how is your soul? That's his question. My question to you is, how is your pancreas?
I haven't had that checked recently, so, you know, it's, I guess if I get anything from it, I guess I'm doing well.
Okay. That's good to hear, Senator. I will not vote for a candidate that does not have #1 A+ pancreas. Lee Bright, running for Senate in South Carolina, trying to get rid of Lindsey Graham. I wish you the best of luck, Senator, and would love to have you on again at some point.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks. And I just want to let you know that I will be praying, I don't know, 6-8 hours straight every day until the election to help you dethrone Lindsey Graham. Back in a second.